Angel already had a target. And ABN Kumasi SRD Pure FM by to compete. On one who internally there were a lot of wranglings were ABN too much. Internal wranglings ne dosun. Leadership of both Pure and Angel in Tokwazala. They will see each other and smile. But Omo boy,
you don't know these streets like we do.
There's this conversation that is circulating on social media with respect to Angel Broadcasting Network. Now, it's ABN and sense MB so, and they are saying that, in fact, I chanced on this thing, Pacho said, oh, for two screens so. And let me address the ABN issue. Me expertise kakram wo media now. I'll talk about it briefly. There are claims say ABN, staff of ABN is from Ghana Chronicles, a verified account on X. And I don't think this is the real Ghana Chronicles media. I don't think so. But a staff of Angel 96.1 in Kumasi have not been paid for over 14 months. The radio is owned by millionaire Kokoting who has 5 wives. Why do you have to add Nairenum to it? If it's not diabolical. Say enye wudie ne adwenboni ne wo trima ne Nairenum dodo de efa ne staff are into our can say. But anyway, this man is my father. Dr. Augustine Kokoting. Same way Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetten, so me papa or papa penyin inti me fan is me papa. I was poached to join Angel Broadcasting in 2019. And when I say I was poached, it was during the season where radio poaching it was there, but enye gidi gidi sa. But I moved from YFM and I joined Pure FM because of the poaching amount of money. Number one was very, it was nice. I'll say, yeah, it was nice. I think that would be the highest in my radio transfer poaching amount. Sky Meninya during poaching. I quite remember Sky FM in 2011. Yeah, 2011, 2012, thereabout. And also nipa enya kakra ewo ho. But ever since then, for urban radio presenters and DJs, you don't really hear of poaching like that. But we could pay more ABN, Pure FM. And I started work, I remember on the 2nd of February, 2019 or so. And I'm starting at Juma as a drive time host and also as the programs manager of the radio station. The entire memo history will come to being when I share my experience on what is happening or what I think is happening. The radio station may have 3 years. Although my contract in for 5 years, may have for 3 years. And then I moved to another branch of Angel Broadcasting Network, a year Radio 1, and then also share Angel Broadcasting Network, of which I did 2 years there, serving my full 5-year term at ABN. Now, during this period, in Nema, me realize ebini. I realized that there's been a sharp decline of radio sales. And me kasa because I've been in media and radio for 20 years plus. My first time I'm in radio so kasa I was on 1st July 2005. Mike now 2005 now primary school Kafra 1st July 2005. And I'm Kasai as a proper presenter. But I had been understanding for a year prior to that. Na me ko hobby, but na me nkasa ada. To say me nya akwanya, omnya mujidi omkasa me nkasa bi. And I started my first radio show na a Tuesday anywhere. And then they moved me into prime time and I moved straight to the drive time. That was basically around the same year before September. Yeah, but school. Yeah, maybe call a friend say university or KNUST because Focus FM is still a KNUST radio station. Now, start time and now radio. And I would want to analyze this on two perspectives. How people valued radio. And from value, I know more to and our premium more to radio. So no, radio sales and I say advert and radio. So said the net here. See, even at Focus FM, and I'll say even at because it was a community-based radio. And then targeting in KNUST students and I know pay. Your license of operation was for KNUST, just like Universe for Legon. Your license in your community radio. Even with that, radio ane intimindru your broadcasting a library KNUST Great Hall. Your library in a bush here. O broadcasting or what bombs to gate grane no. We were making sales. Why? Because of a target. Businesses felt comfortable dealing with us. Because when you see a kasa, obebana Tinadus fast food, Helinus fast food, and more for the near more shout outs ko jimo de bia. Oh, why Helinus say, oh, and one of the edos say, no watch one. Omutie ho. Helinus tie wa Iduasi Gate or branch back on so Queen's Hall. Omutie, ni nyina eda ho. Into bonyo na ye shout outs na chesa ede asetia ma na akwaje kakra na fi bia in a more professional way. But they were paying the radio station as well. From home equal Radio Ecstasy. If Radio Ecstasy equal Sky FM, free Sky FM, eba back to Kumasi KFM. Me betwa mu ban crying Prime FM as you see Adane Plus. Me kwota krade equal ye aduma Paragon 99.9 FM ewo Paragon. Me free Paragon about KFM Kumasi. Me free KFM echo YFM, from YFM to pure Radio 1, from Radio 1 to Hits FM. Listen, I have seen radio sales decline throughout these years. And that's because of the introduction of social media. Social media, any pressure social media, any traditional media, no, you will not understand it if you've not experienced both. And why experiencing me and now experiencing traditional media for the longest time, you will still not be able to understand it. Because I've sat in meetings where budget for radio station, whole budget, say agencies no more transit, be a place product way on urban radio station. Give me 3 urban radio stations. Now, for advertising to so, give me 4 mass radio stations that the advert way called product way. I've sat in meetings back then, and I've sat in meetings now. And I'll tell you that one of the most shocking things that I realized was now when businesses or agencies sit down to draft and I say even plan for radio or media buying, not even radio buying, media buying and advertisement. Social media influencers budget. Show. Social media influencers budget show. Show sika or anase advert the amount of money they place on YouTube content creators or on YouTube channels. You'll be amazed. There's a big competition happening. Bako cost of operation ne boa form relatively to Bako. And ask me and I'll explain. Because for a radio station, when you complete radio station, you have license of operation from the NCA. Wow, Krona Besa here, your friend say equipment to operate. Ube here site to transmit. If you are lucky and baby I want it's a tall building. Now friend is saying ube to my master siso and as a high area now bit my master siso now you are transmit here. Then la we okay. And umpono because you are using a transmitter and it depends on the wattage of the transmitter. Transmitter type be now use and a power be in the kurano. Are you talking about a 5,000 watts friends and transmitter? You know you have to put an air conditioning in that transmitter room, right? Oh boy, oh boy. Or transmission site cost for a month. And I've worked, like I said, I've worked all this while, so I know what I'm talking about. For eating towers. Towers is sisi kroma. Your friend is saying, MTN bosso, Vodafone bosso, omnyina antennas bosso no. Ebi o ana Vodafone pedia. Ebi also ana private business bi no mount tower no. E na obi ade ne na yi kwa akobobbo ho. Ne antennas kwa akobobbo ho. Do you know the cost of placing your antenna on it for a month? Right? There was one time, and that time no, I took the bold decision and said, I'm going to transform fully onto a digital platform and stay there. Because my cost now me sales eba, it will take only a magician to be able to maintain a radio station in some coming years. It will take only a magician to be able to maintain a radio station in some coming years. Funny to me. These years, are so funny to me. But years be where anima eba. Chere magician pe. Omo mutibi yiske free war hono omo pe ne betima yes hard no. Sika garifo on pe ne betima maintain radio station. Because the cost is just crazy. The cost in say radio program back will be free baby a walk about 12 or car tape so and now with them I'm waiting. The cost is just crazy. Towers alone, the people were charging over $2,000. Over $2,000 and a years are making a chapao. I'm talking KFM days. I'm talking around friends in 2012 2012 more I'm making over $2,000. So do the math by now. So new 10,000 or be or the say 5,000 per. That means you have 500 million or 50,000 Ghana cedi equivalent for just transmitting from a tower. Now, studio home my studio cost to my mind you, ube say to your NCA for car every year. Tax never at for the wachi. Who presenters were where was so said to your moka. Come on, man. Come on. As against me, and I am a dawa jollof. My dear, they are quite a buatoso. And you remember my best, yes, anyway. Come run in the internet too. And then I'll read. Many problem. Any problem. Bosom Zua, YouTube was and the miscamami. Advert or my advert in a guzum come baby. Killer. Me say Emre Bem. Cut this piece and put it out there. In the next 5 years. In the next 5 years. 5 no credos. But to the infant 5. Most of the radio stations that you know, it seems that Ebibe Kabum aye one in order for them to survive. In fact, the TV and radio, Ebibe Kabum for them to survive. Most of them will go off. Most of them. The ones that will be existing, in fact, if I'm 100%, emu 80% ebe ya so for dia. Any heba for ne dia. Omo ton bites. Omo dia. I'm telling you. It's bro. I'm telling you. Ne boye ding. Ena sike ebam nusa. Because the concept of advertisement is simple. I say radio ni TV na gada amanfo ha meboa. Nti ma men koton me product mom meboa. That's it. Advert no. You can go deeper and just do the dynamics in there and all that. Yes, I know so. But concept is very simple. Gather people or gather audience with your content and let me come and tell them about my product. And no. So from Poria's pitch, because they know people are going to be there. That's why there are sellers going there. No radio advert, no TV advert, Snapchat. Sponsors are those ibenya for an event. Radio station be enya da. Nya bi o na ewu kra da. Nti kasa kopim se be wu de. Kopim se radio ni be gu. Those he had Vaseline. Vaseline Ghana. Vaseline for be sponsor. What who Vaseline for so my event that must sponsor event be that? Why? Event no ne target no event ne target and as a radio station or what they got to how many etia or the advert to so. But when they are tried and tested, over 5,000 girls will be there. And my product ben pana no patu enyumro mu yusu kese enyenku. Meboa. It makes it the right avenue. Girl, na he no advertising a personal on Snapchat. Did you ever see her do a friend a TV interview or a radio interview? She's done this thing successfully for 3 years. Bro, I hate to say this, but traditional media is losing the fight. I hate to say it, especially say a honami freeba. I hate to say it, but that is the truth. I'm on 40 Mrs. These days, I'm scanning radio, no, me tracker, I'm scanning radio, no, normally to check. Obi wo ha say radio show na oye na amanfo abie phone lines na amanfo mfre. Obi amfre o. No start creative messages, no e kan. Ono a creative messages na kan because person program no. Bro, I know a thing. My biggest fear, I say, just like how a cassette tape, omu free car stereo muno. Who's the first now better car tape biano na cassette room? I feel omu free on a CD buy, and omu CD free on a pen drive slot buy. Meboa. Says omu the Bluetooth. Abasa de beya. Ube to my bonum every phone so directly in the car. Thank you. My biggest fear. Say internet 8 million stable. A big power Ghana. Na baby on them be wirelessly ultimate connected to internet. My biggest fear, ladies and gentlemen. Best say car tip crown. I radio chrome bit my year free. Because most of the time, a year connected data ma car say wo screens no. Onama pacho ya den no YouTube. Onama no streaming no free friends Audio Max, Spotify near there. They don't. Radio is still cheap. It's still cheap entertainment and information source for the less privileged. But ask yourself, send the cost of operation at the say. These are some of the mistakes that I believe ABN. Yeah. And I'm not going to mince words, make it straight. Especially in Kumasi. I think say Pure FM, Angel FM, no kreno DNA was en komuchem nani mienu eye bibi eye very different. Angel already had a target. And ABN Kumasi SRD Pure FM by to compete on one who. Because Pure FM was running programming. It is an Angel pepe. See, my biggest fight with Kwame Dinka as the programs manager or general manager was I was told information I didn't come on media and sana may join the radio station. What's a station you're running as an urban radio station? So we're going to operate quite like YFM. And so in radio programming, continuity is one thing that's almost a pet radio station about them. Into when your peak moment, now for water moment, now flat. Your station will be also tuning because of your appointment listening, because of a certain show. We are on to mean the why? Because radio didn't flow. But I was coming from a background. In fact, all the radio stations are my head, and you realize that continuity is a big thing. We started with Focus FM, which is an urban radio station from the jump. So from morning, Alexis Bill, Saturday Alexis here morning show. If you people don't know, Alexis Bill of Joy FM used to do morning show on a friend say Focus FM. The minimum san Komrado Mo Junior near Tetenosar. From that time, bro, everything was flowing. Program where were music note, where's were music note, Saba Bessia Numre. So if you're a music lover and you tune in, it is hard for you to tune off. Same as YFM, same as KFM. Radio Ecstasy, same thing. We had Kukua Ban on the morning. Lexus was doing the lunch. There was a music slot for Chifaro, I think, right after lunch or so. I would come in on the drive, and Castro would be on the after drive. This is how it was like continuity. But you be a piano after you see a political morning show. From where? So, are you going to compete Angel FM? You get it. Where are some come to match you? Sa client in a ban or per urban a year or per urban friends saying listeners are urban listeners no mu obi wo mo channel we so or per mass listeners are mu obi wo mo channel we so you can actually sell to both. Anamebwa. But say so oba no ka so per mass that means oh mass ni mienu or the kwahin okay or the beko panyin no that's Angel. So then Pure will have to suffer. Listen, this thing created issues between ABN radio stations. I'm not going to mess words. Me, I got caught in the crossfire. Bro, I got caught in the crossfire, so I can tell you stuff and me polishing kakra. These days, no say me polishing kakra. If push turns to shove, me feeling in a go. Oh, if shaft turned into push, not push into a shaft. Edani I made to make in a go. Cause no credit ever pay. Pure FM got it wrong. In fact, ABN got it wrong. I will not say Pure FM. ABN got it wrong. Because you kofa morning show for ebe good pure. You kofa sports for ebe good pure. Meanwhile, so do Angels so. To even cut down cost, if that is what you wanted to do, why don't you keep one and then transmit onto another platform? Whatever. So I say a cap politics or a cap politics or a cap sports or a cap sports or whatever financial transmit fast in mental cost one ameboa. Why would you want to have Kwame Dinka and Kwame Tanko on the same network? In Kumasi, why can't they be on one? Heisenberg, I'll say you are right. Tesla has removed radio from his car. Tesla said Tesla radio him. Yeah, yahoo. Yahoo. Because it doesn't make sense. No, I'm for a coffin. Mistake are ABN yeah, and I may boss watch all, especially in Kumasi. Accra there, because I can't want some idea betching. But at least Accra is running. Just a TV in the matter say homes and some kakrebi, but Accra radio no is running. But bro, you move free. Even the idea and answer the concept of the radio, you move free soon. Internally, there were a lot of wranglings were ABN too much. Internal wranglings ne dosun. Leadership of both Pure and Angel in Tokwazala. They will see each other and smile. But womo boa nyano kure or time ne wo mumu. Mike, what feeling and a revelation? What feeling? What? Now Angel TV. You. Mike, you know Angel TV. See what free TV what about street is watching. Share. Bro. Ajakumas was slim. Which your days at ABN Radio 1? Because I was listening in the morning. See. Bro. In Tokwane Dawson. Ne Dawson. Hey. Yes, you could be the KJB. And the Minjabi and I'm in Minjabi. Some petia. Minjabi, because me could details are never me sure go on a Dawson. A Dawson. The leadership. And marketing from pokra war angel and support to marketing kakra war Pure. No. Because no crania one. The reintroduction of Kwame Dinkra into Angel Broadcasting Network at the problems and a buy. Because some people at Angel Kumasi felt say, "Eni amamu ye den no, Kwame Dinkra ja papa ho. Uja Dr. Kwakutin hokoye." Some of the people at Angel felt that way. I can tell you about the famous morning devotion be a course where information he break is a Kwame Dinkra ba ho a obi bompaye ye frɛ obi so omompaye e wo meeting him morning devotion him e bompaye say ye twam wo Yesu dim say Kwame Dinkra be saba Angel FM ye twam wo Yesu dim. Information o na so one year lucky. And in my case, the CEO or the former CEO of Angel Broadcasting Network, Bronzy, who is a brother of mine, in fact, a schoolmate, in fact, the same hall, in fact, the same floor, me room, Queen's Hall, room 128. 129 Akotumo Hall, 127 Bronzy in a way. And that's the man. Fun picture too. Fun picture too. Joe Kutani, no, Bronzy the Teflon. Kofi Tefi. Say, utra nye ye. Now wadan for ho. Now ko ho, udi agro ho. Pure for who say we a tamful. pure for be foul say we busuefuo. O be find information or had yakoha. I'm telling you about some of the mistakes that ABN made. So what to say, I say some of the mistakes. Coercion. Even mass radio mienumpono. Kauji advert ni bia. Meda se Kofi Tefina ade natoso. Bronzy the Teflon. That's the former CEO. The son of Dr. Augustine Kwaku. Brother. Abrantia menim no over my school days from 2005. My bed mama was a politics a bed man say the Nisa woni abrantia ye free. How? And I'll tell you this, I'll put this on record. Wait there, but I'll put this on record. If it wasn't for Bronzy who approached me, if it wasn't for Bronzy, and I train phone, a friend me say, Kwaku, me pesa me no ye adwuma. Nka ABN kaminsi ho. Not because I'm attractive, or not because it's car mo buy no. Ne subiama. I had seen that money before. Odo say yes, aso. Meji ska, meji car. But na me hu bida. Dienti a me kwakwaye adwuma wo ho is how the relationship between me and this man. Ye ni me hu free school. But opa me hu said ne woni Bronzy nam ho. And I said ne woni Bronzy. Na Bronzy me na chile, me wo da bia me na chile. Me hu ne. Hey! Slim akofa pure for information e dey call ayi angel. Question him. Whereas the two stations could have done different things altogether to avoid all this problem, because you had lots of urban materials. Station number me sign me contract me say me free YFM akwa. Che ko se bo ka me ho. Me contract mu me terms am legu ho no. Se ko se bo nka me ho a me nko. Se aroma nka me ho a me nko. Se PUBG nka me ho a me nko. One person me contract, I had to drag all these people in. Now more urban materials where you mutimi kura YFM. Why don't you set up an urban radio station and let them be there? Kai. And I was on my phone. And I'm here with chairman BKB. As at that time, near Cooper, bomb message to come on to say, I say, Angel come on a UNT. Or a pure the basso. And me as a programs manager and program minimum. Me no as programs manager no. Na minim. Me say later na me tin ya maybe as you. Listen, we the best ya kejabi eye masum ya muda dodo eye. Eye masum ya muda. Mo ye compete ya hododo. Presenter to presenter. Bro. Me ma share ma sorry anopa programs manager minim sie nyina ye wo ABN group Accra Kumasi. You know ABN had over 19 or 20 radio stations from even the north. Eba abisi region bia na bi woso. Ye nyina wo WhatsApp group mu. Nti anopa obia ya no or share ABN link ebia. Was at that time na Facebook Live was a thing. From the 2019 mu ho kono. Facebook Live na ye big. Nana Jua Ampua was a Captain Smart as well. Almost sorry, me ko sa so. Hey. Na dey me ase come come dey na dey ke beche o. Hi. Ya bremo. Hi.
Yes.
Well, I'm for last one. We into answer my story. My free topic question. For people to understand how bad it was. Me share Angel morning show. Say obi add in a link to group no ebia Angel Kumasi for Ediomo diatum. And I me share Angel morning show Kwame Tanko. Me share eto me Facebook na me be to me WhatsApp. Bra. Me see me free fie. Edru adwumam Pure FM. Na meeting akoso. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Me drew, na meeting akoso. Aden na ma share Angel 96.1 morning show. Ewo me Facebook. Wow. No, it's like some me what hit. Na ma share joy. Morning show at me Facebook. That is how it was. Should there be a crime in it? Bra. Krobi di KJB. What there? Honsem no there here me requesting na this was one of the mistakes. It was that bad. We were fiercely competing each other and it did not help. Market wise, near and segmenting enough for us to attract other adverts. To say the year kasi say radio revenue are decreasing. Radio is still very powerful in Kumasi and the Ashanti region. Radio is very powerful. It might has maybe in certain places maybe a lusu ne touch kakra, especially in Accra, be a lusu ne touch kakra. But Kumasi is still very powerful. Power no. I can list very few radio stations in Kumasi that can outdo YFM in terms of revenue. Why? Because it's the only radio station left in Kumasi who is doing something different and targeting a very, very different group of people. Love FM can't compete with YFM. It's impossible. Love can't compete. Which other radio station? And there was Orange. Why? Station, babe. Ultimate. Oh, come on, man. Who's Ukraine refuse? You had to struggle to even remember Ultimate. Bro, segment the audience. Omo mupe we enya di omope. Omo mupe we enya di omope. And ABN had it because they had 3 frequencies in Kumasi. 3. Not 1, not 2. 3 frequencies. But 3 ni na person competing. 3 no. Inti ama presenter to presenter problem wo. One day, on a good day, I'll tell you about the famous, who's the number sports? I think say once a month was a BBC. I know, and as a weekend be a number sports free Accra. Summer, BKB, number no my Accra sports team, no any Obama, no my sports no free Accra Angel TV, no fat. And some more what? Some more me fancy mistake be on my no. 2 and 3. The last mistake, I know that my fancy I don't, but my fancy later I'll talk about it. Last mistake, Bium, I call so. CEO of Angel Broadcasting Network or Mosesano. Mr. Samuel Kofi Champon, also known as Bronzy the Tef London. Biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. You see, Abuwa is Odi Ukra, and I say once na we Odi Ukra. Once na need Ukro no. Yemfa bufo na yedai. Epamuno. Because so to nsa se sie na o mesena. Me pa cho nsa be bor hin. Enye kuro nim. We proud. Until there's a nice way of doing it. Bronzy hun sense may be peer social media ne be babontin. A man for be taking opportunity and some of them at Pure FM. A man for would also once no do grow. And I'll dear before a day. Ebe pamono. A man for ni be pure. Aye. NYSA, na papa no be pamono no be say. At the end of the day, he's still the general manager at Angel FM. Baby, no, uncle, baby, papa no be one na church answer na radio same ibo. Some of you left the radio station. The guy stayed there. Moved the radio station, the units of the radio station from 1 to bear 20 something. Edru ya kese no. And I wouldn't some atono so na musi oki unyina nchen. And the next person who stepped in was Vincent. Put them on. He became the next CEO. 1 year. Vincent Opare. Vincent Opare. Zero knowledge of how media works because he came in from a background of friends in finance, of free bank, and a buy. Into no adonku. Adonku no one. Yes, because I want finances near my number. What I say is scanning that so he was perfectly fit for that position. But of free one, I mean I didn't even share radio. Me I sure say Mike what's that time now or na afin na papa ya ba ho me boa. Vincent took over. Zero connections with respect to media agencies or media buying agencies. Just say when krom asama make pesa me kire no what I say obi wo bitima so o krom woni krom oni krom. You remember the famous issue with respect to Kofi Adoma Wani? Ne etuoko pa etuoko boy pa big so na ni so. Man tia sama almost say Vincent guy. So onko pe advert mra na omo fa ntwa ticket man obi anani. Obi etu afa nani ho. And that's the CEO, bro. That's the CEO for us. I think he's still the CEO of CBBS. I don't know what it is. Bro. Yo. Oh, workers in a strike. Oh. Angel workers in a strike. Says papa when the CEO party or more strike. Hey, some more. See, the entire maker Kofi Tefi Assembly said the guy was able to build a lot of connections with the media buying agencies, and he was very, very down to earth with most of the marketers. Even marketers working at other radio stations because they knew they would get their cut. Bronzy said, check and a ready crowd. Bronzy, no, so what did you number? Oh, percentage before so make you can crown me to me a just to keep the business running. Me the advert ni bi koy ma otua commission ma me abra na check ne kra anye den en go through Check in young go through. Client and check no. In young go through post-dated check. But because Makwaji advert ni biaban was here. Killer, Joe percentage, say 10 was a 15%. Before clients and check in the bedding, it be go through. A branch you me if you. I'm never for by. As to the course between Papa or no whatever it was, and yet me story to tell. It is not my story to tell. But here we are. I cannot confirm or deny. Say a true say staff of Angel 96.1 have not been paid for 14 months. I cannot confirm or deny. If it is true, say for 14 months, Angel 96.1 staff yentu amaka for 14 months. Best believe say Angel 102.5 2.9 not 5 2.9 Accra and so yentu amaka. Because all the pay is coming from one centralized point. A whole payment in Yetua or Chronoma Boy here, Yetua free whenever. That is Adonko headquarters, a one Yetua pay free ba. Enti enya bako. Enya 1 unit. Enya 1 unit. Ebeya all the units, including Pure FM. Enti all ABNB a wunim bia no. Se yentua Angel Kumasi a ebe affect omu nyina omu ntua bi nya bi. Onyame moa eni take the right decisions, because sometimes as much as say we are panyini a bibi betima koso adwuma nim unsa akwa we na ebo ade no from, but ohwa me, and I'm saying no patro mu ntie ne unsa akwa we na obo adwuma yi from unim. But if you do not take decisions, ebekwa akobo form kama in a more professional way. Now to whom ABM sense am ne doso e doso mrepa mu ne betimi agina so ye na ano adin o the offi ewo chatting was slim. You don't know the streets like we do. Minim de wo mu ofa minim no. Until now, the stories be to be bound, I mean, can't worry. Why? Because minimum hurry. But the minimum bino, my father can't want so much. And no patch me free hasi cobble gatanga di minimum meka. Uchi me free akupia prade cradi minimum and one meka. ABN send some no ding. Me bompire, me bobima ABN. Because OBN who person in the Sabin Kumchen Ejefi. I wish to see ABN big like BBC, like CNN. Said the beya mi jina baby na me kasa me ye adwuma wa ha. It becomes a reference point. Omega say, "Hey, akwa we heavy." Say, "So to me ye adwuma ho." Me betina say na me catch say, "Oh, I once worked at BBC." Asan kan be feel me boa. Nobody will want to run ABN down. But these are some of the mistakes I call so. If this is true, it is one of the phases of a year media. And I'm sure, say, strategically, if the business managers they will find a way, or they can find a way to still make it happen. But like I said, the cost of running traditional media these days, the cost involved in running social media platforms, any social media channels like the one that you are watching me on, as compared to Omodiano, the cost involved for me to air this program to you, any Omodiano, or for no ding. Nyame more traditional media house be awate. A man for ho musu esua radio bi wo ho ye radio no di no de hwe na busua for. Emre mo ye den. Bro, it is hard. Oh, yante EIB there. You forgotten the EIB on? before the elections, friends, Unicredit Guyeno. Oh, Bolare na Bijina Bontain kind. Said that there was a time I would be run office, be resign. Bolare said it. You guys have forgotten, right? Oh, I'm refining man tamo. Osi obi ajay, obet okano I'm watching program Chingy, Pastor Chingy. I'm watching program no kind. Also, what kept him saying at that time, no nyame penning him. Because obia people that he trusted, obia ba wejai. No otiomasi because almost what dia adwuma mo ye didi no. Sikane ma. And for other media outlets who are there and then looking at this thing, you are not far from it. You guys are not far from it. Nyame moi.
You don't know these streets like we do.